Okay, so I wanted to write a song that was a follow-up to The Devil Went Down to Georgia. Okay, so I wanted it to be a different melody, and I didn't want it to, I wanted it to tell a continuation of the story, but I wanted it to be different. Different enough to stand on its own, but yet referencing back to The Devil Went Down to Georgia. So I sat down first and I came up with a melody that was different. There was no mistaking the difference in the melody. Different chord progressions, a different feel. So I got that established. And then I came up with a hook line that was totally different and didn't even sound like it was going to reference The Devil Went Down to Georgia. So my hook line was, "It's gonna be a good day." And the way I came about trying to find a hook line that would be totally different was I looked at The Devil Went Down to Georgia and I thought about, okay, what overall picture, what is going on here? The devil's having a bad day. You know, he's just having a bad day. He runs into a guy that just kicks his butt, and he has a bad day. So, thinking on those lines, I came up with the title, the hook line. It's gonna be a good day. Now, in contrast to that, it's gonna be a good day is not going to be another good day for the devil. It's just gonna be another good day. Okay? So that's it's a play on everything. It's a play on everything. So the devil's still going to have a bad day, but it's going to be a good day. So that became my hook line. So from that hook line, then I start dissecting the verses. And I came up with my melody, which was totally different. Came up with my fiddle licks. And I got that part out of the way first. And then, from that melody, I start dissecting the verses in The Devil Went Down to Georgia. And the first verse, you know, it's the devil went down to Georgia. Is the very first line. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind. He was way behind, and he was willing to make a deal. And he came across a young man sawing the fiddle and playing it hot. So the devil jumped up on the hickory stump and said, "Boy, let me tell you what." So you know the song. So for me, my first verse had to be, so what happens after the devil's defeated? You know, where's he at? What's going on? So my first line is, the devil came up out of Georgia, and he was feeling really low. He'd just been beaten down, so he's feeling really low. He said, "I'm going to have to work overtime just to steal me another soul." You know, the devil was in the business of stealing souls, so he was going to have to work overtime now just to steal another soul. So he came on up into Tennessee, where he found a fiddler named Dan. And then once again, I referenced the stump. So he gave a stump speech how he couldn't be beat with a golden fiddle in his hand. So I've referenced everything there. So then we say, now Dan stood toe to toe with the devil. He never batted an eye. Said gambling might be a sin, but I tell you what, man, music drives the devil out. And then he sang. And that became my first verse. It references the storyline, but it's a new storyline. Well, now for the chorus, I decided that I wanted to play on the fiddle tune part of the song in Charlie's song, The Devil Went Down to Georgia. You know, the part where he sings, "Fire on the mountain, run, boy, run. Devil's in the house with the rising sun. Chicken in the bread pan picking out dough. Freddy, does your dog bite? No, child, no." I took the fire on the mountain, and I took the mountain, and I wrote my chorus about the mountain. So my chorus says, I'm going to climb that mountain, pull a chair up in the shade. I'll get my fiddle out, sing and dance about, ain't nothing going to get in my way. I'm going to climb that mountain, going to get on my knees and pray. And when we sing and shout, we'll drive the devil out. It's going to be a good day. So there's my hook. It's going to be a good day. And of course, in the storyline, and mine goes on, it's a continuation of storyline that references back, but it's a new story. So my second verse says, the devil threw a fit. He didn't like it one bit, so he squalled and he jumped around. He made a really big scene, if you know what I mean, right there in the middle of town. But old Dan didn't mind. He stood his ground. He never batted an eye. And with his fiddle in his hand and an angel band, they drove the old devil out. And then, of course, it goes back into the chorus. And again, that part of the scene is totally different, but it's a continuation of a story. And then I finished it up by going back, doing a third verse. And in the third verse, you know, the fight's over. The devil's defeated again. So it's the third verse says, now if you ever see the old devil with a fiddle in another town, propped up on a stump, he'll probably be drunk, playing tunes with an eerie sound. Remind him about old Dan and tell him he's coming into town. And with his fiddle in his hand and an angel band, they're going to send him where the sun don't shine. Of course, then it goes back into my chorus. Goes out with a mean fiddle riff. And that is how I wrote It's Gonna Be a Good Day. It was a planned theme that I just sat down and I said, okay, how can we build this song around this theme? And that's how I did it.